A Father's Love, Episode 46. When I was in university, there was this country I wanted to visit, but I needed a visa. I frowned, trying to understand Dad. Is it that other credit cards are not allowed? What are you talking about? Dad's eyeballs quickly rolled up and down. His eyes suddenly widened. Oh, this visa is a document that authorizes you access to a country. I shook my head in pity. You mean there was a time you couldn't visit some countries? A lot of countries, for that matter. Really? With the way you travel so often, it's like you're trying to make up for all the missed travel you couldn't do before. Dad responded with a gesture of, "What can I do?" His hands swirled up with a big smile on his face. I made several attempts to get a visa to this country. How many attempts? 3. Did you pray about it? Of course. In fact, my mom and siblings were also praying along. Could it be that you give up too quickly? Before I went for the third interview, I mentioned it to a friend. He asked if I prayed about it. I replied yes. Dad paused and looked up. I could remember a few times he did this when he was talking. What comes after is usually a lightbulb moment. I adjusted my seating position as I anticipated what Dad was about to deliver. You realize no is also an answer, Dad said. That's what my friend told me. I'm guessing it was no for the third interview. Dad nodded his head in response. Then why bother praying if it's going to be a gamble between God answering it or not? I thought you said God answers all prayers? If I told you or asked you to go jump over a cliff, would you do it? Definitely not. When we pray, we have to understand that God sees the bigger picture. If the prayer doesn't align with the bigger picture, which is always to our advantage, the answer will probably be no. In the case of you not being able to get into that country, how did it play out in the long run? First of all, I can now get into the country. The no was only temporary. Not being able to get into that country actually shifted my focus to what I'm doing now. If I had made it into that country, I doubt I could have all the businesses I own now. I might be doing something less fulfilling. What if the no is not temporary? Then so be it. The important thing about prayer is to know that the answer could be yes or no. When we get an unfavorable answer, be content with the fact that God has a better plan. It's still an assumption that your life as you have it here is better than it would have been in that country. People could use that to console themselves. Your life might have been way better in the supposed country than it is here. I can agree with your claim, but from what I saw happening in that country over the years, I could only say it was good I didn't make it there that time. Can you think of a scenario where there was better evidence that a no was the better answer? Dad looked up as he thought of what to say.